The magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning in air? Answer. Magnesium is very reactive metal. When stored, it reacts with oxygen to form a layer magnesium oxide on its surface. This layer of magnesium oxide is quite stable and prevents further reaction of magnesium with oxygen. The magnesium ribbon is cleaned by sandpaper to remove this layer so that the underlying metal can be exposed into air. Question 2. Write the balanced equation for the following chemical reactions. I. Hydrogen jode chlorine hydrogen chloride. E. Barium chloride jode aluminium sulfate barium sulfate jode aluminium chloride. E. Sodium jode water sodium hydroxide jode hydrogen. Answer. I. E. Question 3. Write a balanced chemical equation with state symbols for the following reactions. I. Solutions of barium chloride and sodium sulfate in water react to give insoluble barium sulfate in the solution of sodium chloride. E. Sodium hydroxide solution in water reacts with hydrochloric acid solution in water to produce sodium chloride solution and water. Answer. I. E. Question 1. A solution of a substance X is used for whitewashing. I. Name the substance X and write its formula. E. Write the reaction of the substance X named in I above with water. Answer. I. The substance X is calcium oxide. Its chemical formula is Ca. E. Calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to form calcium hydroxide slaked lime. Question 2. Why is the amount of gas collected in one of the test tubes in activity 1.7 double of the amount collected in the other? Name this gas. Answer. Water H2O contains 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. Therefore, the amount of hydrogen and oxygen produced during electrolysis of water is in a 2:1 ratio. During electrolysis, since hydrogen goes to one test tube and oxygen goes to another, the amount of gas collected in one of the test tubes is double of the amount collected in the other. Question 1. Why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when an iron nail is dipped in it? Answer. When an iron nail is placed in a copper sulfate solution, iron displaces copper from copper sulfate solution forming iron sulfate, which is green in color. Therefore, the blue color of copper sulfate solution fades and green color appears. Question 2. Give an example of a double displacement reaction other than the one given in activity. 1.10. Answer. Sodium carbonate reacts with calcium chloride to form calcium carbonate and sodium chloride. In this reaction, sodium carbonate and calcium chloride exchange ions to form 2 new compounds. Hence, it is a double displacement reaction. Question 3. Identify the substances that are oxidized and the substances that are reduced in the following reactions. I. E. Answer. I. Sodium Na is oxidized as it gains oxygen and oxygen gets reduced. E. Copper oxide Co is reduced to copper Co, while hydrogen H2 gets oxidized to water H2O. Exercise solution. Question 1. Which of the statements about the reaction below are incorrect? A. Lead is getting reduced. B. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. C. Carbon is getting oxidized. D. Lead oxide is getting reduced. I. A and B. E. A and C. E. A, B and C. If all. Answer. I. A and B. Question 2. The above reaction is an example of A. Combination reaction. B. Double displacement reaction. C. Decomposition reaction. D. Displacement reaction. Answer. D. The given reaction is an example of a displacement reaction. Question 3. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron filings? Tick the correct answer. A. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. B. Chlorine gas and iron hydroxide are produced. C. No reaction takes place. D. Iron salt and water are produced. Answer. A. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. The reaction is as follows. Question 4. What is a balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equations be balanced? Answer. A reaction which has an equal number of atoms of all the elements on both sides of the chemical equation is called a balanced chemical equation. The law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor destroyed. Hence, in a chemical reaction, the total mass of reactants should be equal to the total mass of the products. It means that the total number of atoms of each element should be equal on both sides of a chemical equation. Hence, it is for this reason that chemical equations should be balanced. Question 5. Translate the following statements into chemical equations and then balance them. A. Hydrogen gas combines with nitrogen to form ammonia. B. Hydrogen sulfide gas burns in air to give water and sulfur dioxide. C. Barium chloride reacts with aluminium sulfate to give aluminium chloride and a precipitate of barium sulfate. D. Potassium metal reacts with water to give potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Answer: A, B, C, D. Question 6. Balance the following chemical equations. A, B, C, D. Answer: A, B, C, D. Question 7. Write the balanced chemical equations for the following reactions. A. Calcium hydroxide jode carbon dioxide calcium carbonate jode water. B. Zinc jode silver nitrate zinc nitrate jode silver. C. Aluminium jode copper chloride aluminium chloride jode copper. D. Barium chloride jode potassium sulfate jode potassium chloride. Answer: A, B, C, D. Question 8. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of reaction in each case. A. Potassium bromide Aq jode barium iodide Aq potassium iodide Aq jode barium bromide S. B. Zinc carbonate S. Zinc oxide S. Jode carbon dioxide G. C. Hydrogen G. Jode chlorine G. Hydrogen chloride G. D. Magnesium S. Jode hydrochloric acid Aq magnesium chloride Aq jode hydrogen G. Answer: A. Double displacement reaction. B. Decomposition reaction. C. Combination reaction. D. Displacement reaction. Question 9. What does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reactions? Give examples. Answer: Chemical reactions that release energy in the form of heat, light, or sound are called exothermic reactions. Example: mixture of sodium and chlorine to yield table salt. In other words, combination reactions are exothermic. Reactions that absorb energy or require energy in order to proceed are called endothermic reactions. For example, in the process of photosynthesis, plants use the energy from the sun to convert carbon dioxide and water to glucose and oxygen. Question 10. Why is respiration considered an exothermic reaction? Explain. Answer: Energy is required to support life. Energy in our body is obtained from the food we eat. During digestion, large molecules of food are broken down into simpler substances such as glucose. Glucose combines with oxygen in the cells and provides energy. The special name of this combustion reaction is respiration. Since energy is released in the whole process, it is an exothermic process. Question 11. Why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reactions? Write equations for these reactions. Answer: Decomposition reactions are those in which a compound breaks down to form two or more substances. These reactions require a source of energy to proceed. Thus, they are the exact opposite of combination reactions in which two or more substances combine to give a new substance with the release of energy. Decomposition reaction. Combination reaction. Question 12. Write one equation each for decomposition reactions where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light, or electricity. Answer: A. Thermal decomposition. B. Decomposition by light. C. Decomposition by electricity. Question 13. What is the difference between displacement and double displacement reactions? Write equations for these reactions. Answer: In a displacement reaction, a more reactive element replaces a less reactive element from a compound, where A is more reactive than B. In a double displacement reaction, two atoms or a group of atoms switch places to form new compounds. For example, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction. Question 14. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution involved displacement by copper metal. Write down the reaction involved. Answer: Question 15. What do you mean by a precipitation reaction? Explain by giving examples. Answer: A reaction in which an insoluble solid called precipitate is formed is called a precipitation reaction. For example, in this reaction, calcium carbonate is obtained as a precipitate. Hence, it is a precipitation reaction. Another example of precipitation reaction is: in this reaction, barium sulfate is obtained as a precipitate. Question 16. Explain the following in terms of gain or loss of oxygen with two examples each. A. Oxidation. B. Reduction. Answer: A. Oxidation is the gain of oxygen. For example, I. E. In equation I, H2 is oxidized to H2O, and in equation E, Co is oxidized to CO. E. Reduction is the loss of oxygen. For example, I. E. In equation I, CO2 is reduced to CO, and in equation E, CO is reduced to CO. Question 17. A shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. Name the element X and the black colored compound formed. Answer. X is copper Co, and the black colored compound formed is copper oxide Co. The equation of the reaction involved on heating copper is given below. Question 18. Why do we apply paint on iron articles? Answer. Iron articles are painted because it prevents them from rusting. When painted, the contact of iron articles from moisture and air is cut off. Hence, rusting is prevented. Their presence is essential for rusting to take place. Question 19. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Answer. Nitrogen is an inert gas and does not easily react with these substances. On the other hand, oxygen reacts with food substances and makes them rancid. Thus, bags used in packing food items are flushed with nitrogen gas to remove oxygen inside the pack. When oxygen is not present inside the pack, rancidity of oil and fat containing food items is avoided. Question 20. Explain the following terms with one example each. A. Corrosion. B. Rancidity. Answer. A. Corrosion. Corrosion is defined as a process where materials, usually metals, deteriorate as a result of a chemical reaction with air, moisture, chemicals, H. For example, iron, in the presence of moisture, reacts with oxygen to form hydrated iron oxide. This hydrated iron oxide is rust. B. Rancidity. The process of oxidation of fats and oils that can be easily noticed by the change in taste and smell is known as rancidity. For example, the taste and smell of butter changes when kept for long. Rancidity can be avoided by 1. Storing food in airtight containers. 2. Storing food in refrigerators. 3. Adding antioxidants. 4. Storing food in an environment of nitrogen.
There are no more articles to read.